So Imperial Order is gone from 2 formats. Now, was this an implication of, well, good things to come with Mysterious Rune? Let's go talk about this, shall we? Don't be like the 30% of you guys that have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can get to 103,000, baby. First of all here, I want to talk about a little bit of the OCG ban list, a little bit of some implications here, some pretty big things that I've been just kind of reading from the player base here, and overall, just some thoughts out here. So first of all, Imperial Order is now gone from 2 formats, ladies and gentlemen. Still allowed in Master Duel, by the way. So I like to forget that Master Duel exists some days, as of this point in time. But from where I'm sitting here right now, I think Imperial Order being gone from the game at this point in time is both a hindrance and a good thing. Now, remember, if you're a Sky Striker player or you're a Mysterious Rune player, you just probably crapped your pants everywhere seeing that IO is gone now, because that was the one check that really messed up your deck. Every other player in the game right now is, well, pissed that they lost a free auto win condition against that new deck out strategy. And I've read quite a few little posts from Twitter on both sides of the argument in the OCG. You know, one person even made a comment. It was like, what are we now, the TCG? It was like, this card was fine in our game. I was like, you know, IO inherently wasn't a good card in terms of design. You know, getting a free mandatory shutdown on spell cards, which has become like the biggest part of the game next to Monster Cardo, it really shows something that a lot of inherent players don't understand. You know, when you look back at our last format, do you know how many finals were dictated because of Imperial Order? You know, I guess you can make the argument that if Imperial Order wasn't, you know, what if it was just like negate 2 spell cards a turn, or, you know, negate 1? That's a bad take. Apologies. If it was just a negate 1 spell card a turn, then people wouldn't even play, because it's just bad solemn judgment at that point in time. But when you overall look at like the power scaling and like how much the card like changed the landscape of the game, winning finals, dictating multiple games during a finals event, both in, you know, the YCSs here and in the OCG. We watched an Imperial Order be flipped up, and then while it was actually impermed in the finals, the player was able to do like Brandon and Red shenanigans to break a board, but the initial activation of the Imperial Order actually shook the foundation of the game at the very early stages of it, which, you know, powerful cards like that sway the overall impact of Yu-Gi-Oh! Are really just toxic overall. So, welcome to the TCG, ladies and gentlemen. I like to welcome all of the OCG for finally coming over here, and just say, you know what? You guys will be a lot happier without Imperial Order. So, the overall impact of this, though, I've seen quite a few complaints about people being like, well, no, Sky Striker's going to be unbeatable. You know, Mysterious Rune is going to have problems. You know, if you just, like, banish the field spell 5-head, or you just kind of win the game. You know, Mysterious Rune's, one of its, like, harder matchups is, I've noticed, like, Golden Lord, send the field spell. Well, what do I do, ladies and gentlemen? Like, congratulations, there went my win con. You know, I don't know why people are worried about, like, this deck out strategy that still kind of has to start the Megazord. You know, the deck needs to start in order to go, and if the deck stalls, you just lose. I can make the same, you know, argument here with Striker, you know, depending on future limitations here, and if we follow suit with Verte Anaconda, you know, what are we really worried about? You know, if Verte follows up here and gets banned, then, okay, like, Striker just kind of gets hit. You know, if we follow semi-hits on the Brave package, you'll see some sort of slowdown in Striker here. So, overall, stop complaining about Imperial Order being banned, alright? As much as I loved Imperial Order as a card, floodgates are bad, okay? So, with that being said, though, the other thing I want to talk about here is Verte Anaconda. Everybody... There's been a lot of people right now in the TCG that are going, oh, we could finally ban Verte. Oh, finally. Verte should have been banned a year ago, if you want me to be perfectly honest with you. Verte is such an inherently crap card in terms of design that it's crazy to me that Konami straight up said, you know what? We're going to print this, ladies and gentlemen. Being able to generically access anything with the word fusion on it was a stupid idea. I know, I understand that some of these combo extenders, Konami hasn't had necessarily the best track record of keeping up with. Like, let's just be honest with that there, all right? There are just a lot of things. You're like, well, you know, like, we have these mechanics that lock you into doing things, but we didn't really think about the point of, oh, you know, it applies at this stage, but you can just do something completely different. I think that's the flaw with like card design in general, is at the cutoff points in which you think that would be the true extension point, you really wouldn't get that full round of encompassment here to really see that, well, crap, like I didn't expect to see, you know, that they wouldn't go down the bear broom part, or like the DP package would be splashed in on the level it is. You can really tell that they just kind of shit the bed in terms of some of these designs. And you can tell fundamentally bad design cards, and that's one of the things like Imperial Order and Verte Anaconda really do, is people got to understand, for longevity's sake of games, cards that are busted as shit, all right, like Verte Anaconda and Imperial Order, they hinder future card design. You know, you want Yu-Gi-Oh! To thrive another 20 years. You want this game to continue to grow. All right, well, if you make a card like Verte Anaconda and you don't have a quote-unquote time span on the card in which you want it to exist, then you're just hurting your own game. You know, cards, you can print powerful cards in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And have them be fine, but you have to have the intention of removing them from the equation at some point. That's what we call power creep, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing, I don't think there's a problem with printing overpowered cards if Konami has full intention to ban them. And I mean, that's really a story for another day here. So I'll say this. Konami wants to sell product. They're not stupid. You're not stupid either. You know this. Konami wants to make powerful cards that your eyes are going to go, holy crap, that's busted. Now, with that being said, okay, well, if they print something massively powerful, then your goo-goo eyes are going to buy it up, all right? And then they're like, okay, cool, so this card has a year and a half timer. We can reprint it here, here, and here, and we'll begin to slowly take it out of the equation. You can't, I know at some points we give Konami a lot of crap for a lot of things, but I can tell you that they have a genuine foresight on some things. They truly can't encompass everything, but you can't tell me when you look at some of these power scalings and some of this stuff. I have a feeling that they didn't have any idea that Based would be a deck. Honestly, I have a feeling they made the adventurer stuff and they didn't actually expect it to go on like the crazy terminal level it is. But I mean, I think that's a good thing, that when certain cards can exceed your expectations and kind of blow your mind, that's what really makes a game really fun, especially from like a creative standpoint. So yes, that being said, I think their expectations are beyond reality right now. So as we go forward here, ladies and gentlemen, Imperial Order is gone from the game. I think a lot of people actually being butthurt about Mystery Rune coming out here and the lack of Imperial Order you're really just crying for no real reason. I don't see much of a reason why we need to be upset by the removal of Imperial Order. I get that maybe there's just like some attachment to Imperial Order, but it just feels like a lot of hopium and copium here, just clutching down on this, being like, no, I've played, you got the shakes because your Imperial Order is banned. You know, I've seen so many people happy that Verte got banned. I actually seen nobody actually upset that Verte got banned. Nobody, actually. And that's really saying something, because all the Protoplanet players, I guess, should be upset, but maybe they're far and few in between, considering even that the deck's going to be like a power tier 1 competitor come later on in the year. But that's where we're sitting right now, ladies and gentlemen. So I think Yu-Gi-Oh's in a better spot right now. I think this ban list gives hope to the TCG for the future here, that we will probably actually see Verte Anaconda get removed, at least from our side of the game, much later on. But outside of that, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG, you did it. you really set a nice precedence for what's going forward here. And I'm actually very excited to kind of see how things will unfold. So guys, what do you think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Make sure you smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.